I'm Supriya Seshadri. I'm an ultrasound trainer both in gynae ultrasound as well as obstetric ultrasound. I'm very happy to be associated with the simulated training at Garbhagudi and I have lots to say about it. In a nutshell, it is extremely beneficial and you can see why. When I had my training in ultrasound, it had to be on live patients. It was also several years ago when technology definitely is not what it was today, and therefore there were big challenges in doing a number of scans and also in seeing the vast majority of abnormal challenges. One is to get enough number of patients for us to get sufficient hands-on training, because ultrasound is all about real time. One cannot make a diagnosis or should not make a diagnosis on still images. It's all about making diagnosis on real time. Real time meaning you're actively scanning, and that's how you realize what is normal and what is abnormal. And more importantly, real time meaning you have to know how to move the probe. Now, in obstetric ultrasound, when we do a transabdominal scan, probe movements can definitely be learned or be taught by someone because they can see how we are moving the probe. Whereas in a transvaginal scan, it's impossible to know how we're moving the probe, although it's a very limited view. And probe movements are extremely important in transvaginal ultrasound to know the orientation and also to define abnormal from normal pathology. So it's very easy to understand why in the days of your learning was really not complete during the training period, but actually had to pick up along the way by doing more number of scans, spending that much more time. Now, with technology where it is, and especially with the simulator, there is no end to the learning. You can actually learn as if you're learning on a live patient, because all the images on the simulator are taken from live patients. So the simulator has facilities to start from the very basics. When I say basic, it will tell us, it can teach us all about the ultrasound physics. Then it can teach us all about methodology, especially for a transvaginal scan. And the probe movements can be very easily learned and understood while training on a simulator vis-a-vis while training on live patients. Here I forgot, yes, there are a lot of courses dealing with gynae ultrasound. A simulator here at Garbhagudi has got about 2,000 images or even more, and there's also a facility to put in more and more images. So which means these number of cases I don't think any learner or trainer can have had during the training period. So in the short course duration, and why we kept the course short, one is because it is adequate and because we don't want doctors to take off time from their busy practices and spend all their time here. Yes, there is a certain amount of commitment. The sessions are long, especially the theoretical sessions. When I say theoretical sessions, it's all practical oriented theoretical sessions. Those are really long to have a continuum. But other than that, the hands-on sessions are customized or tailored as per your individual requirement. So let me tell you something about how the courses have been formulated. We have short-term courses, which means really short-term, say maybe for a week, for those coming from outstation, for those who had some basic knowledge of scans. And we have the regular course wherein we teach right from the basics to the advanced, and this is spanned over a span of 10 days. Of course, the 10 days is flexible, sometimes it goes on to even 14 days. In this 10-day period, 2 days are only theoretical, which means, as I said earlier, the practical aspects will be taught by way of PPT lectures as well as hands-on the simulator. A demo is given by the trainer and the same is executed by the trainees. So there are 2 days dedicated to this, and each day can be of a duration anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. The remaining 7 or 8 days is only a hands-on by the trainee. So the modules that will be worked on are all pre-selected to see that they really give the kind of experience that the trainee is looking for. And there is also an inbuilt trainer or a virtual trainer on the simulator which will guide the trainee in case he or she gets lost during the hands-on training. At the end of the hands-on session, a feedback is given to the delegates wherein the trainer, that is me, corrects all the images, and there is a protocol on which the images have to be saved. So corrections are made on that and a feedback is given to the trainee. So what happens every day or at least every 2 days, the trainee is getting a feedback on her scan images. And this, as I've seen in the last 4 batches that have already I've gone through, definitely is a big learning for the trainee because they know how to correct themselves along their training period itself. At the end of the hands-on training, an assessment is done. The trainee has to work on that. The trainee has to report on those cases like how they would do on a real patient, and a feedback is given at the end of the assessment as well. So what I have seen in the last 4 batches is, in fact, there were 1 or 2 who didn't know the scan at all, and even I was a little apprehensive in the beginning as to how they would pick up something in 10 days. But I was really amazed at their progress as to how they progressed from day 1 to day 10, all because of the feedback that was given to them, the time that was allotted to them, as well as the training from the scan trainer itself. Now, talking about time, we all know that with live patients, whatever be the modality in medical learning, definitely there's a limit to the time that you can train on a patient. However, on a simulator, there is no time limit. You can't really go on for 10 hours on the simulator, but if you pick up a particular module and want to become an expert in that particular module, you can spend about half an hour or even 1 hour just on that module, which is impossible to spend on in a live patient. So as a trainer, I'm very happy with the progress that I've seen in the batches so far.